Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Very nice to have you today in this very special day. We will take just a couple of minutes while everyone is coming in. And once we have most of our attendees, we can go ahead and start with today's live Q&A. So for us, this has been a moment that we have been waiting for quite a while. It's been in the works for a long time. So we're super excited to have you here. Just a couple of seconds and we can go ahead and get started. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Okay, welcome everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Today we're doing a live Q&A for a long time in the works collaboration between Tavano team and Buy with Prime. So we can start just doing some agendas, some introductions, and then we'll get the boring stuff out of the way and we can get to the meaty part of everything. So as you can see in the title, Supercharge your NetSuite store with Buy with Prime, a native integration for maximum growth. Today we have attendees both from the Tavano side and from the Amazon side. So we can start with our main guest today, which is JP Wolf, a senior partner development at Amazon. How are you doing, JP?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Very happy to have you. And we have our very own Fabricio Correa, who's our product manager at Tavano team. How are you doing, Fabri?
Doing great. Thanks everyone for joining. Happy to share what we have accomplished.
We are very excited. And then you have me, which just a simple, humble host, Marcelo Tisoni. I'm project management lead right here at Tavano team. So yeah. So as an agenda for today, we're going to be doing the introductions, just an introductions for us, an introduction for the product that we're going to be showing you. We're going to be doing a live Q&A and then conclusion and just a very small wrap up. We are a Tavano team. We build, connect, grow, and support your NetSuite e-commerce. As you can see right here, when we talk about connect, we're talking about more than 160 merchants that are using our suite apps. If we're talking about grow, we can help you get on average 29x of return of investment. When we build, that means that we have over 500 clients. And for support, we have over 6,000 hours of support per year. Then just housekeeping rules. We have a Q&A feature that it comes with Zoom. You can just use that to submit your questions. We will tackle them during the live Q&A, or if there are many questions, we can definitely tackle some directly in the Q&A feature. And also you have the chat in which the idea is for everyone to comment any thoughts that you have. You can interact between each other. I see that we have a bunch of people right here as attendees, so you can definitely talk amongst yourself as well. And just some best practices for these kind of events. Let's just unplug. Let's just make sure that for the next hour, we take the most advantage of it. So that means that if you have any mobile device, it would be nice if you can switch it off so you can avoid distractions, find a peaceful spot, unplug yourself from social media. I know that's difficult, but I'll try to do my best. If you need pen and paper, if you're old-fashioned, you can definitely do it that way. And as always, as we do in every single Q&A, you can stay until the end for a nice surprise. So with that said, all housekeeping done. I'll send this over to JP so we can take it over. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody from Denver, Colorado. My name is JP Wolf, and as mentioned a couple slides ago, I am a senior partner development manager at Amazon. I've been with Amazon for close to 6 years, and my focus is with our agency partnerships like Tavano. Been working very closely with Tavano over this year to get to this point, and just want to say that I'm excited and Amazon is very excited about the Tavano NetSuite Buy with Prime connector. And I'll let them talk more about that, but kind of a lead up to that. And I'll be sharing a little bit around Buy with Prime with you all today. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into it. We can go ahead and jump into the next slide. So let's just start off by answering the question of what is Buy with Prime. And I always start by asking the person I'm talking to or the group I'm speaking with, are you an Amazon Prime member? And generally the answer is yes for everybody. And one of the biggest reasons that we love being Prime members is that you get free and fast delivery when you're shopping on Amazon. We know we can hop on Amazon with a very high level of trust and reliability to not only get free shipping, but get fast shipping. And in a day and age where we're all so busy and don't always have time to get to a physical store, for me at least, it feels like when you're using your Prime membership on Amazon, you're really clicking that easy button, if you will. So what Buy with Prime is it gives the ability to Prime members like you and I to get that same free and fast delivery and checkout experience that we're used to on Amazon.com on other websites. And we think this is a great value add to the Prime membership. We're always trying to add additional value and be customer obsessed with our Prime members. And so this is something that we're really proud to offer Prime members. Again, the ability to get the same free and fast shipping you're used to on Amazon on the other websites that you shop on regularly. We can go ahead and go to the next slide. And it turns out that, of course, Prime members love free and fast shipping, but it turns out that free and fast shipping is also very important to online shoppers in general. You'll see here on this slide that 69% of shoppers say free shipping is the #1 reason they're likely to make a purchase online. 70% of consumers said that they wish retailers and brands offered similar services to Amazon Prime. And the #1 thing consumers would change about online shopping is faster delivery. So we feel like Buy with Prime just is really meeting those customer expectations of wanting things very quickly. Next slide. So we're all Prime members and we understand why shoppers, would love using Buy with Prime. But let's look at it from the other side of the coin. A lot of you on this call today are representing brands and are sellers who not only sell on Amazon, but you have a direct consumer business that is very important to you. And so why would a brand want to offer Buy with Prime on their website? And there's 3 items on this slide that I'd like to call out, trends we're seeing as far as why brands like having Buy with Prime. #1, 40% of US Prime members indicated they're more likely to make a first-time purchase on a DTC store that features the Amazon Prime logo. If you think about it, if you're shopping on a website for the first time, you probably don't have a super high level of trust. However, when you see that Buy with Prime button, your trust is instantly elevated and you're more likely to make that purchase. The second thing I'll call out is increase in conversion. We've done studies that show sellers experience a 26% increase in shopper conversion with the Buy with Prime cart and a 38% increase in conversion with reviews from Amazon, which I'll cover in a few slides. But think about your brand, think about your DTC website and what that type of conversion uptick would look like to your bottom line. That is a very, very significant number. And #3, the last thing I'll call out on this slide is access to Amazon shopper data. We know that a lot of brands, love selling on Amazon and it's a really big channel for them. But one of the challenges can be if I, JP Wolf, buy something from your brand on Amazon, you don't get my contact information or any of my data where you can, retarget and remarket and increase lifetime value for me as a customer. However, every time a Prime member uses Buy with Prime on your website, you are getting access to their name, email, and phone number, and you can kind of create this whole new marketing work stream targeting Prime members to increase the lifetime value, which again is something that you don't have the luxury of doing when you're selling on Amazon. So those are a few high-level value props when it comes to brands offering Buy with Prime on their site. And so let's look at what the actual shopper experience looks like. And we have a couple different flavors of Buy with Prime that I'm going to show you over the next couple slides. This first one is kind of a buy now experience. So you'll see the Buy with Prime button here listed on the product detail page. It's going to ping the IP address based on where you're browsing from to show you when you should expect your free delivery. When you click that button, you're then asked to sign into your Amazon account. However, if you are browsing from a device like your desktop and you're already logged into your Amazon account on that device, or if you're like me and you're shopping from your smartphone, which is where I do a majority of my online shopping from, and I have the Amazon app that I'm signed into in the background, it will automatically authenticate you. But once you do sign in or you're authenticated, you can then choose from your different payment methods and addresses from your Amazon account to check out. So this is a really good solution for folks that have a UPO close to one or 1 unit per order, and you just want to encourage the shopper to check out as quickly as possible. You could check out in as little as 2 clicks here if you're automatically authenticated by clicking Buy with Prime and place order. So that's what the buy now version looks like. And on the next slide, I'll show you what we call our mix cart. And this is a pretty cool new feature that we released earlier this year. And this gives you, the shopper, the ability to add Prime eligible items and non-Prime eligible items into the same shopping cart, but check out with one transaction while still getting very clear instructions on when you should expect your delivery, both Prime and non-Prime. And this is a really great solution for folks that, you know, want to encourage shoppers to build a cart and maybe have a UPO that's north of 2 units per order. So again, couple different flavors here. And, you know, we'll work with you. The Tavano team can work with you on what solution makes the most sense. But you'll see, you know, automatically as a Prime member, you see that Prime experience and you see the free and fast delivery. It's just very much a no-brainer from the shopper side of things. And the next slide I'll show, I think this is just a really neat feature when you make a Buy with Prime purchase, is if you sign into your Amazon account and you go to the Your Orders tab, you'll actually see there's a tab for Buy with Prime orders that allow you to track your orders, see when it's going to be delivered, initiate a free return if you need to do a return, and just overall manage that order, which is just something Amazon Prime members are used to going, checking their orders inside of the app, inside of the desktop version, and it's just very, very easy for folks to track what's going on with their Buy with Prime orders there. So that's kind of Buy with Prime and what it looks like. I know it's pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of bells and whistles and different kind of features and apps that you can take advantage of that I want to highlight over the next few slides. And the first one that I'll call out, I touched on a few slides ago, which is reviews from Amazon. And what reviews from Amazon, totally optional, free, you can add on if it makes sense, if you have, you know, good level of reviews and a high number as far as rating. But what you can do is you can pull your Amazon.com reviews onto your direct consumer Shopify site or whatever platform you're using and highlight those on products that you're offering Buy with Prime on. And anecdotally, I talked to a lot of different brands and they're selling the same product on Amazon that they're selling on the DTC, but a lot of times they have way more reviews on the Amazon side. And so being able to pull those onto the DTC, we see helps increase conversion up to 38%. So 26% with Buy with Prime cart goes all the way up to 38% when you do Buy with Prime alongside reviews from Amazon. So I think this is a really cool feature that a lot of our brands love taking advantage of. The next slide, I'll show, you know, one of the cool things about adopting Buy with Prime is getting access to our marketing toolkit, brand guidelines, and logos where you can highlight the Buy with Prime logo in your email and social and traffic driving strategies. And you'll see here that Buy with Prime generally works pretty well with your third-party marketing email apps like a Klaviyo here. And you'll see that Sherpani, who's a Buy with Prime customer, say that they saw placed orders were 30.7% higher through their abandoned checkout flow using Klaviyo for Buy with Prime compared to non-Buy with Prime. So this works well with Klaviyo, with your MailChimps, with your Yotpos, and incorporating Buy with Prime is a great way to capture customers that maybe abandon a checkout. And on the next slide, I'll show you social ads. So a lot of brands are probably doing ads on Meta and Instagram. We have integrations and play very nicely with those platforms where you'll see here, you can throw the Buy with Prime logo on those different social ads, which just gives shoppers confidence. When you click that ad, then redirects you to a direct consumer Buy with Prime enabled SKU. But I think this just gives you a good visual of being able to highlight Buy with Prime on those social ads. So last but not least, as far as traffic driving products, we have an advertising solution called Display Ads for Buy with Prime. And this is a very unique advertising tool as it's the only ASIN level remarketing solution that Amazon offers, where we will actually share with our Buy with Prime customers data on folks who have purchased from you in the past on Amazon, viewed your products on Amazon, and even competitive products on Amazon, where you can retarget those bottom of funnel kind of ready to purchase shoppers when they're browsing ESPN.com or weather.com or all the sites that we all kind of look at every day. And you can highlight that Buy with Prime eligibility on the ad. And when you click that, you can drive the traffic back to your direct to consumer website. Again, with a Buy with Prime enabled SKU. So this is just huge. Again, we talked about how one of the challenges of selling on Amazon can be kind of the lack of data or who's looking at my products. This advertising solution has been pulling in some great return on ad spend, some ROAS stats, and we actually have some promotional incentives related to this advertising program where we're matching ad spend for first-time users. And Tavano and Buy with Prime would be happy to talk with anyone after to tell you more details there. So I'll kind of wrap up with some testimonials. I think it's one thing for me as an Amazon employee to tell you how great Buy with Prime is, but it's another to actually see testimonials from brands. And so there's a few that I want to highlight here, starting with Wise on the next slide. You'll see here, Wise saw a 25% increase in shopper conversion and a 50% reduction in the average click to delivery times of customer orders. So, think about the beginning of this presentation, free and fast delivery is very important to folks. Not only did they see it on the conversion, but just in general, delighting your customers with a 50% reduction in click to delivery speed probably increases your chances of having a good shopper experience and them coming back and spending more money on your website. The next one I'll show is Bare Minerals. They saw a 60% increase in shopper conversion, insert mind blown emoji, and a 40% increase in sales per visitor. And one thing I love about this case study is the call out that they had 5 to 7 extra business days of selling time during peak holiday season. We all get those emails of if you celebrate Christmas, like on December 12th or December 15th, like, hey, JP, you got to order today. It's your last chance to order and still get it in time for Christmas. However, if you enable Buy with Prime around the holidays, you could hypothetically allow a shopper to buy something up till Christmas Eve and still have it sitting under the Christmas tree on Christmas with the free and fast delivery. And that goes for not only Christmas, but if your product does really well during Father's Day or Mother's Day or back to school or any big event, just keep in mind Buy with Prime again can allow you to keep some extra business days to continue those transactions flowing. And last but not least, I'll share just from perspective of acquiring new customers. Everyone wants to acquire new customers, right? And we see that adding Buy with Prime to your website really helps enable that. Sherpani saw an 87% of Buy with Prime orders were being placed by first-time customers. Wise saw a 5% increase in new customers who use Buy with Prime versus non-Buy with Prime, and Hydrolite saw 90% of their first-time Buy with Prime customers be new customers. So again, talked about it earlier, having the trust of Prime on your website really increases shopper confidence, especially if they're shopping on your site for the first time. So I think that's all my slides. Hopefully that gave you a good overview of Buy with Prime. And with that, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to the Tavano team to tell you about the NetSuite connector. Thanks.
Thank you, JP, for those insights on the Buy with Prime services. Now let's get a look at the integration we built together. So this has been a work for months between the two teams, between the Amazon Buy with Prime team and the product team from Tavano. We've been really experienced in building products, and we know our NetSuite customers a lot. So we'll try to take care of everything, knowing we are NetSuite experts. So that's our approach here, and we know the pain points you might have with NetSuite. So we try to leverage that and give you a first-grade solution for this connector. Going into what is it, what we built. This is a native integration, so there is no middleware needed to make it work. We know how NetSuite works. We know how merchants like to use it, and we try to use the same tools to build this integration. So you don't need to rely on extra software or anything like that. So we try to maximize the resources we got on NetSuite and make it as native as possible so you can see it. But we have a couple of highlights to show you on something that doesn't look like native, but it actually is. So a big heads up and kudos to our development team on that. You're gonna see that is a sneak peek and a spoiler on what we are gonna see. The idea of this connector, of course, is to don't have any manual work to do, probably. Everything is gonna be automated and synchronized between the two systems. Complementing what JP shows you about the checkout and everything on your website, but also reflecting that into NetSuite is what is this for, right? The idea is for you merchants to have everything in place and be better at customer support and also reporting for you and your orders. So you got everything in place and we take care of it, of course. On the order management side, it's a bidirectional flow between the two systems. So that order that JP shows you that is placed on Amazon will arrive into NetSuite layer, and you're gonna see all the updates from that order. We take care of every piece of the order, so we know our merchants, and we know that probably every merchant uses their ERP in different ways, different configuration, different necessities, and we take care of them and configure them for you. This connector is highly customizable to every merchant business. So we take care of it. If you create sales orders, cash sales, any type of transaction, for example, can be managed. If you have your custom body fields that you need to set, we take care of it and the connector can do it. The creation is automatically done. We receive notifications from Amazon for every order creation and where we need to set it. Customer info, like JP mentioned, is gonna be there, so you can use it to contact your buying customers. They are gonna be identified, so you know how to reach them later for upsells or any other opportunity you will have. Everything happens in real time, so we receive notification, then we create the order. And also for orders, we support cancellation for them. From Amazon, maybe the customers cancel the order on Amazon directly on Buy with Prime, and we will receive it on NetSuite and reflect that so you keep track of both systems at the same time. For fulfillments, taking advantage of course, Amazon's fulfillment network, You are going to receive all the updates in NetSuite. We take care of creating the necessary records for fulfillments, packages, and we keep track of those changes every time. If a customer calls you, you will know exactly where that package is, why is there, if it is out for delivery, if it is delivered, and every way of the delivery. Of course, we support multi-channel, and this applies for the mixed cart that JP mentioned. So not only Prime orders and Prime items are supported, but you also can use Amazon Fulfillment Network as a 3PL and route your orders to be fulfilled by Amazon. In that case, directly from NetSuite, and if the customer chooses on your website. And of course, everything, like I mentioned, is real time, and you're going to see it reflected right away. We support every one of the flows you see here. So returns and refunds are also automatically created. If the customer requests a return through Amazon, that is reflected on NetSuite, on the native records, and also on the custom records we create with this integration for you to have even more information. You will have the reasons, you will have the tracking numbers, you will have everything in here and in the NetSuite side. So you don't need to know a new system or anything like that. Everything is going to be in the same environment you use every day, and it's going to be really user-friendly and easy to use. We support and we give you a dashboard where you can see your configuration and also every log or error, if it is, in here. So you're going to see that in a couple next slides and in a little demo we have for you. So you have everything in one place. You don't need to go to different places to see how it's working. And this was built by our team. Inventory management, of course, we support the locations you got on Amazon. They are going to be here. We update them in real time, so you don't need to worry about it. We always keep track of those changes, and you're going to see that reflected on the native locations in NetSuite also. But we also have just in case backups and everything for you to keep track of that and always be in the real information. What are the key benefits for this integration? Of course, reduce manual work for you. Everything is going to be automated. We keep track of everything, and also we give you the ability to choose your own path. So we can choose custom forms, type of payment methods, shipping methods. Everything is going to be there for you to configure. So this reduces the time to go live with the integration, of course, but also the time to maintain it because everything is in place and with variables. Your customer experience is going to be improved a lot, of course, because you're going to have all the information you need for your customers in case they call you, or also for your sales rep if they want to see that information reflected on NetSuite. Everything is going to be updated all the time, so you don't need to worry about it. Of course, centralized order management, you don't need to go to an external place to look at your orders. They are going to be here, and you're going to see that complete visibility across the all channels. So reporting is going to be there. You can identify the orders from Amazon. That's going to be really easy. Components. Of course, we need access, and you will need access to your seller portal and partner Amazon account, buy with Prime connection, of course, NetSuite, custom workflows that were not taking place, and the data synchronization. And like I mentioned before, flexible configuration for your order routing and based on your business rules. So we know NetSuite, we know the flows, so we just will ask you, okay, which path do you want to take for this integration in particular? And we also support subsidiaries, of course, and also multiple connections at the same time. You might have multiple stores on Amazon, for example, and our connector takes care of it, and you can connect them also. So you don't need to worry about that part. Prerequisites, of course, NetSuite, Amazon, buy with Prime account, And of course, we can take care of the deployment of the integration, but also about the support and maintenance. Our team is professional. We have a lot of go lives on our backs right now for different products, and we know how to take care of it. Documentation is being built together between the two teams, and it's a high quality document so you can follow the steps in case you need to debug anything or know how to work. And also technical support from our end is highly valuable, and our customer satisfaction scores for those services are really great, and you can see that on the Tabano team side. Of course, this connector was built to be scalable, so we have regular updates and improvements in place on the roadmap of the integration to keep it going bigger and leverage more work for you, and you don't need to worry about it. Now let's see a little demo of the integration. This is pre-recorded, so we are gonna share it with you after the webinar. You can see it on our YouTube channel if you want. And in here, we have a video that is already recorded, as you can see, but it's basically showing you how it looks on the NetSuite end, right? And the flow that we are showing you is the one that JP showed you on a website in Shopify, where they have the add to cart and the buy with Prime button right there. And this order is placed directly on Amazon using the Amazon checkout. As you can see, is the regular checkout that every customer knows. So this will give you confidence on purchasing directly on your website, and even when the Prime benefits. So this is the advantage. In here, what you see is the dashboard we have built for this integration, where you can see every step of the way and even every event we receive from Amazon. So we have the direct links to the orders in NetSuite, so you can see that reflected. This order was placed on Amazon directly. We receive it when the fulfillment already started, so it's in transit. And as you can see, with this integration, we add a lot of native fields for the integration to reflect that information, and you will have even your order number, package number, and everything that Amazon reports to us, and we put it on NetSuite. So you have the full information in here. There is a dedicated tab for the order, when you can see the state of the order, of course, order ID, and if it is requested a cancellation or not. But not only that, also the package per se. So you can have one order with multiple packages, and we're gonna reflect that in here and create for you the fulfillments. So this, everything you see here is natively done on NetSuite. So the records are natively done. What we add is extra info for you, so you can leverage that and share it with your customer if you need to, or even your sales rep. From here, we just listen to the updates from Amazon, okay? And we're gonna start updating this package you see right here, like you see on the fulfillment. And we're gonna move it along with the package out for delivery and until deliver. So in here, the process for this package finish. Of course, like I told you before, we support returns, cancellations, and refunds. So all of that comes after the purchase. Even cancellations can be before, but everything is automatically done by the integration, and you don't need to worry about it or even trying to keep it up with checking information there and bring it back. The connector will do that work for you, and it will be really easy to set up. On the NetSuite end, I'm going to show you a little bit on how it looks. This is the dashboard we have built for this integration. Like I mentioned, we can support more than one brand. And as you can see here, on the configuration side, you will have everything. It's really easy to use. Even for the flows I mentioned, you can turn on or off whatever you want to use for this integration. And so it's pretty self-explanatory in here. And even like I mentioned, the general settings you can have and your particular fields you need to complete on your order creation. On the auditory side, and this is really important, you can have every log and if the order were created or not, even where they own retry or mark as solved. So this is a high quality dashboard for you to leverage your orders and see if everything is working as expected on your integration. That's gonna be it on my end. So I think, Marce, you can take it from here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Fadi. That was great. I gotta say, I've been doing this for many years, and that is the prettiest dashboard that I've seen, and one of the best that I've seen in terms of being integrated with NetSuite. So that's very, very nice, and I'm pretty sure that it will be helpful for everyone that is going to be using it. Just as a small reminder, I don't think that we've touched upon this when we started, but we will send you the recording after we finish the Q&A because I understand that we have been discussing many, many things. In fact, the chat has been going on with questions and answers. So many of them have been answered already. So those are going to be sent to you in writing as well. So the idea is that you're not going to be able to miss anything. But I think right now would be a great time to review some of the questions. And then I think that the one that was probably repeated the most and very, very important, and this is probably for JP, which is basically how much does buy with Prime a buy with Prime transaction cost?
Oh yeah, that's a that's a great question. So excuse me. So when you think about a cost of a buy with Prime transaction, you can think of it as kind of two buckets that comprise the total cost. The first one is the Prime service fee. This is a 3% service fee with a minimum of $1 per order. So 3%, which is far less than the 15 to 18% that Amazon sellers sell on or get on Amazon.com. So 3% buy with Prime service fee. And then you have the fulfillment fee. This is a per unit fee for fulfilling buy with Prime items. And the fee varies depending on the product size, weight, and how many units are in that buy with Prime order. But that should be generally, fairly consistent with what you're used to on a fulfillment fee side. It's really just that 3% buy with Prime service fee, which is kind of a new fee. But if you're increasing your conversion by 26 to 38%, you'll gladly pay that 3% buy with Prime service fee.
Thank you, JP. And yes, I mean, we can discuss all of the features that we want to discuss, but those are definitely driving factors at the time of making a decision. So I understand that it's a very important question. I do have I saw two questions that they were very much interlinked, so I think it makes sense to ask them together. So number one would be, can the onboarding process be done without a NetSuite consultant, or does Tavana team provide implementation services? And then the other, I do think that they go hand in hand, which is basically what kind of support and maintenance does Tavana team offer post-launch?
Great. I can answer those. We have built this connector to be installed uh, actually by anyone, but we give the services to setting it up for you. Of course, we know the product, we have built it, so we know how to configure it for you, and we are NetSuite experts, so we know how to work with it. So I highly recommend doing that. Our onboarding team is really great and really experienced. So that's gonna be the answer to go. On the support side, of course, unlimited support from our end. We have our own ticket system. We know the product. We know how to work with it, how to customize it, how to give support to our customer, how to keep growing on this integration. So we are always available for you and to answer any type of questions, of course, not only about the integration, but maybe other aspects of NetSuite also. So be sure that we're going to be there.
Thank you, Fadi. Yeah, we're definitely the builders and your one-stop shop for anything connector related. Let's go with some other questions. I think this is probably more for JP. The question would be, do I need to sell my products on Amazon to offer Buy with Prime?
Great question. You do not have to sell your products on Amazon to offer Buy with Prime. You just have to have that inventory in our warehouses. So in order to offer Buy with Prime, if we're going to make that delivery promise that the customer, is going to receive that tomorrow or within 2 days, it just has to be in our inventory. But that doesn't mean that you have to actively list that inventory on the Amazon marketplace. So no, that does not have to be the case.
Great.
A,
Thank you so
a,
much.
a great example of that is Adidas does that. So they're not listing their inventory on Amazon.com, but they're offering Buy with Prime on their D2C website to increase conversion and target Prime members like myself.
Thank you so much, Dominic. We have a whole team behind this, so you will see people popping up. Thank you so much, Dominic. Let's go with some other questions. Okay, so I think this would be more for Fabri. And again, a very important driving factor. How long does the implementation typically take using the out-of-the-box accelerator?
Depending if the Amazon account is already set up, of course, this could take around 2 weeks to do everything, depending, of course, of the needs of the ERP account that we need. But we probably gonna take that time, and based on testing, of course, we need to see that everything is working as expected. We like to work on Sandbox first, always. That's a mandatory thing sometimes. So that's our time to go on the integration side.
Always keeping best practices. Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, let me see if we have any other questions. I don't think that we have any other at the moment, but I'm just doing a little bit of a small search just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Again, many of these have already been answered through the Q&A, and they will be sent to you directly after the call after the Q&A along with the recording. So you will have everything. But just one last check. I don't think that as of this moment we have anything else. Um, Unless, I don't know if Fabri or JP, do you guys have any closing words? I think this has been very in-depth. I love that we were able to do a demo. We are very, very excited to get this out to the world. We have been building it for many, many months. A hard work for a lot of people inside here in Amazon. So yeah, we're super excited for this. So
Yeah, Fabrizio, any closing remarks on your
No,
side?
for
I'll
me,
defer
no.
to you.
Just thanking everyone for joining. Happy to share this work with all the team, with the Amazon team, of course, and the Tamana team. And hopefully we can see you working with us, of course. And this is a great product, and you're not gonna regret going with us and the Amazon by Wayprint team.
Yep, plus one. Thank you, everyone, for your time out of your busy schedule, learning about the NetSuite Buy with Prime connector. If any of you want to set up a live call, just let Tavano know, let myself know. We'll be more than happy to chat with you about your specific brand to see if Buy with Prime would be a good fit. Thanks, everybody.
thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and I'm pretty sure that we'll see each other again down the road. Thank you so much.